adult learning. Her primary focus is on fostering learning in informal settings, pertaining to how we can effectively adapt and prepare for various aspects of global change. Her long-term goal is to become a successful writer, talk show host, and public figure. Today, she will be doing research, speech 10, from the Competent Communicator Manual, which focuses on inspiring the audience. Please welcome VETC's President, Tiffany with her speech, "Don't let them get you down, don't let them stop you." And also, because this is a milestone speech, after Tiffany finished, we would like to stand up and congratulate her for this milestone.
Good evening, Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. Aside from hard work, I believe the number one determiner for our success is our perception of our personal potential, our belief in what we are personally capable of achieving. Do you agree?
Yes.
It's pretty simple, right? Move our bottoms, believe in ourselves, and we will accomplish great things.
Yeah.
Isn't that simple?
Yeah.
Is it easy to believe in yourself? No, it's not. The difficulty is that our perception of what we will accomplish is more so affected by other people's opinions of our potential than it is our own. From a very young age, we intentionally and unintentionally allow others, our parents, our siblings, other kids, teachers, bosses, society as a whole, to get us down and stop us from accomplishing our goals. Tonight, I'm going to share with you a personal story that I'm going to illustrate two key attributes that will help you completely control what informs your perspective of what you will accomplish in the years to come. When I was 4 years old, I was adopted by my aunt and my uncle. Well, they welcomed me into their home and provided for me all of the basic necessities a child would need to grow. It was made very clear to me early on that I was an outsider, a burden, and inferior to all of my siblings. While I have fond memories as a child, my confidence was consistently compromised. My mother frequently told me that I was nothing and that I would never accomplish anything. While childhood was tough, I adored school. In 5th grade, my art teacher assigned us this art assignment where we had to draw what Christmas meant to us. As someone who had been raised Catholic, I chose to draw the nativity scene. There was Joseph and Mary, baby Jesus with a donkey in the background, 3 wise men, 2 angels, and a cute little pig with a bow between his ears. I worked so hard on that picture. I remember spending entire nights working away, listening to 80s hits. I remember the day that I finished, I heard my mom come home from work. I was so excited to show some of my painting. I ran downstairs quickly. She was in the kitchen doing something in the sink. I said, "Hey Mom." She snapped back, "What do you want?" I said, I just want to show you this picture that I finished for art class. She turned around and said, "Why the fuck would I care about a stupid art assignment that you've done? Go back to your room." I went back to my room and cried myself to sleep. It really bothered me that my mom was so ridiculously cruel. Over time, I became a really insecure kid. I always had my hair in my face. I never spoke up in class. I turned into a bit of a loner. One day, that same year, I got called down to the office. Instant anxiety. What have I done this time? I get there, and there's this gentleman standing in a black suit and a big smile on his face. He puts out his hand and says, "You must be Tiffany." I shake his hand, and he turns around this cardboard that he's carrying. I look at it. Hudson's Bay Company presents "What Does Christmas Mean to Me?" contest winners. And there was my picture. I was one of 6 winners out of over 600 submissions from across the city. Our principal made an announcement over the intercom. I was a celebrity for the day. For the rest of that school day, I was on cloud nine. But I was a little bit nervous about how my mom was going to respond when I got home. Would she shrug it off, or would she actually praise me? She took my accomplishment as an opportunity to brag to all of the relatives about how amazing of a mother she was. From this experience, I learned one of the most valuable lessons anybody could learn in life. Our parents, people in authority, they are not the center of the universe. They can be wrong. More importantly, she was wrong. I could be successful at whatever I wanted to be. Her opinion no longer mattered. I was not going to let her get me down, and I was not going to let her stop me from being the best Tiffany that I could be. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Who here believes that other people's opinions or society's opinion is potentially holding them back from achieving great success? A few people. I'm going to give you 2 attributes that are really going to help you control what informs your perspective of what you will achieve. Number 1, pretty obvious, tough skin. Tough skin is about awareness. It's about self-awareness and that we know that we tend to take things personal when we're tired, burnt out, and not taking care of ourselves. Another thing we need to be aware of is where other people are coming from. We need to consider whether another's opinion is solicited or not, where that opinion is coming from. Has anyone, aside Alana and Michael, read The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz? Mm-hmm. It's an excellent book. I highly recommend it. Really simple read. The second agreement is don't take anything personally. Ruiz argues that when people say something that comes across as insulting, it's not about the person they're talking to. Rather, it's about themselves. If I tell you that your initiative is stupid, it's not about you. It's about my fears, my anxieties regarding what I haven't accomplished yet or what I believe is possible. The tough thing is that oftentimes we love the people that are giving us these opinions. Believe it or not, I love my mom. That said, we need to remember to take what other people tell us with a grain of salt. The second attribute that I want to talk about is acknowledged resiliency. Who here would argue that they have faced adversity at some point in their life? Almost everybody in the room. I'm in the right place. It's interesting. When I was a kid, where I grew up, whether or not my parents stayed married, how healthy my household was, determined where I would go in life. That frustrated me. Even as an adult, we're told that if we get fired, if we have bad credit, if we get divorced, if we have addiction, if we're depressed, our fate is determined. There's no point in even trying. On the other hand, there's a parallel message. We hear things like diamond in the rough, roses grow in crop. Franklin Roosevelt once said, a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor or surfer.
Yeah.
As we go through adversity, we build resiliency. Resiliency is the ability to overcome difficult situations quickly. I saw an article in LinkedIn a few years ago that talked about how the most essential attribute in great achievers, people like Tony Robbins, Oprah Winfrey, Richard Branson, isn't so much confidence, it's resiliency. The ability to not only get through tough times, but excel in tough times. I want you to think about some of the things that you think about as regrets that are a part of your life. We often associate times of adversity as things we don't want to talk about. They're not regrets. They're your competitive advantage. I have something in common with Tony Robbins and Oprah. I grew up in crap too. They grew up in crap. It's great. The important thing to remember is that our competitive advantage doesn't just give us success. It gives us outstanding success. I want to finish with a little bit of an activity. I hope that the next time you're feeling down or you feel like you're not going to accomplish what you want to accomplish, this will revive your inspiration to get the job done. I want you to pretend like you've made it. Over the next couple of years, you've had amazing success. You are now the industry standard for whatever business you are in, assuming that nobody's there yet in this room. You are now the benchmark for someone else's dream. You're their Tony Robbins or their Elon Musk. One day, you receive a handwritten letter from a protege who's knees deep in the struggle. They're having a really tough time. They tell you where they're at. They tell you that everyone around them is telling them that they're foolish, that they need to quit. They're never going to make it. They want to know from you. They want to hear the truth. Is it worth it? What are you going to tell them? Are you going to tell them to quit? Are you going to tell them to give up? No, you're going to tell them what I'm going to tell you. Don't let them get you down. Don't let them stop you. Take care of yourself, work hard, go and do great and wonderful things.